The pulsing heartbeat of a dazzling skyline. The frenetic energy of a desert strip that welcomes more than 38 million visitors per year. The opulence that transports you to a fantasy world of elegance and illusion. Welcome to Las Vegas.
Run it for me. Don't leave anything out. Give me the big picture.
You want it?
It's all yours.
Where should we start?
With the hotel.
Right. Bank's swinging for the fences on this one. Forget weekenders and conventioneers. He's built this place for whales. It's a shoo-in for the 5 Diamond Award. The marble was hand-picked in Italy.
And the chef stolen from the highest-rated restaurants in the Michelin guidebook.
In the villas, for his big players, the silverware is actually gold.
Vegas is just one of a kind.
When people see it, they're absolutely fascinated with it.
And what's not to be fascinated by? Cruise down Las Vegas Boulevard and take in some of the most astonishing architecture in the world. Enter a casino and uncover the subtle influences designed to enhance your game. Venture beyond the velvet rope into the world of Vegas's elite, the high roller. Dare to discover what it takes to build a new property in Sin City. Vegas is unlike any other city on Earth. It constantly evolves to offer new, more glamorous, more opulent, more outrageous experiences for its visitors. And the ultimate escape from reality starts on the Strip.
The Strip is just the most amazing stretch of road, I think, probably anywhere in the world.
Almost 4.5 miles long, the Las Vegas Strip boasts more than 20 high-rise hotels and casinos, more than 75 restaurants, and more than 130,000 hotel rooms. From the beginning, Vegas was specifically designed to entice visitors. Property owners in Las Vegas calculated the odds on what would draw people to the Strip. The result? Las Vegas is a chameleon, reinventing itself every few years, in a constant effort to offer the newest attractions to lure people in.
The architecture on the Strip is obviously the most eclectic in the world.
The changes we're going through now, the amount of new thinking, is absolutely incredible.
Just over 150 years ago, Las Vegas was nothing more than a settlement for Mormon missionaries. With the arrival of the railroad, Las Vegas evolved into an industry town until the 1940s, when everything changed. 1946. The war was over. The prosperity of the 1950s was just around the corner, and businessman Benjamin Bugsy Siegel unveiled a plan to transform the desert town of Las Vegas into an oasis of entertainment in the heart of Nevada. Las Vegas was the ideal resort town. Just 270 miles from Los Angeles, it was the perfect glamorous and glitzy getaway for celebrities and California's wealthy elite. Siegel plunged $6 million into the construction of the Flamingo Hotel. It was billed as the most luxurious hotel in the world. Over the next 50 years, more than 45 hotels and resorts opened and closed on the Strip, each one more lavish than the last. Until 1989, when Las Vegas experienced a second renaissance that would forever transform the Strip into one of outlandish excess.
Las Vegas changed from old to new in 1989 when Steve Wynn opened the Mirage. From that point, I mean, it was like somebody flipped a switch, and old Vegas was gone and new Vegas began.
It was a 5-star quality hotel, big volcano out in front, live dolphins and white tigers in their showrooms and out by the pools. And it was an experience that was totally unique and totally new. From that point on, everybody tried to play catch up.
The Mirage Hotel raised the stakes for casino owners and architects. The race was on to develop the best digs on the Strip.
The competition is very fierce. Everybody's raising the bar.
It really is an effort to just keep coming up with the latest and greatest. The old adage of if they build it, they will come. That's happened in Las Vegas, and so far, there hasn't been a loser yet.
Today, architects have upped the ante. The aesthetic in hotel architecture has evolved from themed properties towards more sophisticated designs.
I wanted to create something that hadn't been created before, something that was different from a big themed mega resort. We wanted to make sure that we didn't replicate something that existed someplace else. So we were very particular about creating something that had its own style.
Not only have the design concepts shifted, the source for hotel revenue in recent years has changed.
In the old days, the idea was the casino will make the money. Everything else must be a loss leader to bring you into the casino. Today, it's by having the better amenities in general.
In previous years, casinos were responsible for 53% of a hotel's revenue. Today, that number has dropped to around 40%.
When it switched from loss leader to better amenities, then the whole model kind of changed. That you didn't have to make all your money only in the casino.
Today, we have the most incredible shopping. We have the most incredible theater. We have the most incredible restaurants and chefs.
I'd like a table for one. I hear your risotto is tremendous.
It is tremendous.
There isn't anything in the world that you can see that doesn't exist in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, at least on the Strip, it's almost like a Hollywood movie set. These casinos are built, they serve their purpose for a time, and then they're torn down. In cities like New York or in Chicago, or especially cities in Europe, as buildings and hotels get older, they seem to get more and more cachet. But in Las Vegas, as they get older, they get passé. People want to go to the new, fresh place and whatever's more exciting.
The Landmark, the Dunes, the Aladdin, all demolished less than 40 years after opening on the Strip.
Where are you going to build a 30-story hotel tower anywhere else in the world and implode it? It just is unheard of.
The Las Vegas skyline evolves. The Las Vegas skyline morphs. But the Las Vegas skyline has yet to go bust.
I have in my office a Life magazine cover framed on my wall.
Its headline from 1955 was, "Is Las Vegas overbuilt?"
I have it on my wall to remind me, boy, how wrong those people were back then. As long as Las Vegas is able to keep reinventing itself, I don't think we'll ever get overbuilt.
Mr. Bank, if a player wins a multiple of 5 on the first spin, he or she is a winner. Payout, 5-1. But guess what? They're already laying 11-1. So when they win, Mr. Bank, we win. Enough said.
Lush and lavish is the name of the game in Las Vegas. At the pools, in the restaurants, inside swank suites, Vegas conjures up images of sumptuous retreat. However, the most iconic symbol of Las Vegas is the casino. Gaming in Las Vegas is an $8 billion a year industry. Vegas was originally known as a haven of mob activity. But by the 1950s, casinos cleaned up their act, and tourists flocked to Las Vegas to enjoy the glamour and fantasy of the casino.
Las Vegas functions on a 24-hour-a-day schedule. Its principal attraction, gambling, does around-the-clock business.
In the past decade, over 45% of hotel revenue in Las Vegas has been bankrolled by the casino. The psychology behind casino design is complex. A casino is designed to entertain and offer a temporary escape, and architects are constantly researching ways to enhance a casino-goer's adventure.
We want to extend the customer's time experience within the casino for as long as possible with many, many techniques.
All the action makes the player feel like they have a fighting chance, if you understand my meaning.
The more time a person spends in a casino, the more money the casino can potentially collect.
Everything the casinos do is tactically based. They've run tests that tell them what they can do to make it more fun, make people stay longer, make people loosen up. Everything has a reason behind it.
These techniques are sophisticated, subtle, and often undetectable to casino patrons. Movement is a key element in casino design. The goal is to inspire a sense of adventure, curiosity, and wonder.
All of our pathways or our pedestrian movements are on the basis of a curve. If you step into one of our buildings and look left and look right, and you've seen it all, well, there's no reason for you to explore it. We would hope that you would have the feeling that you didn't see the entire facility and you'd want to come back again.
I'm always amazed, or somebody who's inside tells me that they've done this and that for this purpose. I go, you gotta be kidding me.
Designers also play their hand with casino lighting. It's not enough to turn the lights on. Those lights must radiate the proper color and temperature to further the fantasy of the casino.
We use a principle by an architect named Morris Lapidus. Morris had this principle, he called it the moth principle, that all the customers go to the light as a moth does. A little bit like that in a casino. In our lighting design, we really want that customer to feel stronger, look better, look taller, and be empowered. Our lighting must make you look and feel fantastic.
With the lighting concept in place, designers then tackle table layout.
We need to have the tables in the right spots to in fact energize that casino. Youthful people want to gather with other youthful people. So consequently, they're put around bars or lounges or nightclubs or special event type places.
Casino designers are in tune with all five senses. Sound is one of the most effective tools in the psychology of casino design.
The sounds in a casino do a few things. They sort of disarm people a little bit. You know, they hear the noise and they think, well, there's a party and I think I ought to get involved.
In fact, in the days when slot machines were still doling out coins, some were designed to sound like they were dropping more coins, creating the impression of a bigger payout. Casino design can be a gamble. While designers strive to create a sense of energy and involvement, they are also keen on creating intimate spaces for the gambler.
Lower ceilings are better than high ceilings in terms of inducing people to want to play or stay and play.
As gaming progressed through this particular century, in order to garner a personal relationship, the ceilings were required or desired to be low.
Cleverness is the key to casino design. For these strategies to pay off, they must be imperceptible to casino customers.
As a player and somebody who played a lot, I don't notice things like that. Only the casinos really understand that they're doing it, so it's pretty subtle.
We are definitely not trying to trap anyone in a casino. If you are not comfortable, you will stay a shorter time. Shorter visits mean less money, less profits. It's like a ripple effect.
People have to realize casinos are businesses. And just the same as when you go to a restaurant or to a department store, you're going to encounter tactics to get you to spend more, order more. Same thing goes on in a casino.
I got 18 whales. I spoke to their handlers. I spoke to their managers. I spoke to their assistants. Every one of them is going to leave. We're going to do it in 2 tiers. I'm going to leave first. They're going to follow.
Great.
Okay, but you got to make sure they win because these guys usually lose. And when they lose, they get comped.
They're going to win big.
Las Vegas is on such a roll right now that there's no stopping it.
No matter where you go, there's always a lot happening. It's a different scene wherever you go.
Vegas is Sin City and it's cool.
Las Vegas is extravagance. Las Vegas is opulence. It is the ultimate fantasy. It's the stunning shows, first-class chefs, and draw of the game that makes Las Vegas the high-life capital of the world. And nowhere is this more evident than in the world of the high roller. For the select few with unlimited spending potential, Vegas opens up some unbelievable doors.
If you're a big player, and a really big player, you can expect the world.
When Bugsy Siegel ran the show, high rollers enjoyed placing a few bets, taking in some shows, and relaxing in style. By the 1960s, big gamblers could rub elbows with the Rat Pack after an evening at the table. Today, it's a whole different game. Vegas's elite are flown in on private jets, put up in lavish rooms, and offered access to some of the most exclusive acts in town, all on the casino's dime.
A high roller in Vegas terms is anyone that'll risk $50,000 to $250,000 on a weekend. And a whale is $250,000 and up.
It's the surge of adrenaline, the thrill of the wager, and the risk of losing big that lures these daredevils to the gaming table.
It doesn't matter what level they're at or what age they're at, they all want that rush of winning.
The largest bet I ever made was on craps, where I've had in excess of $150,000 on the table. It makes you feel alive. It gives you a certain energy and an electricity. There's no drug in the world that could give you that same feeling.
These whales don't negotiate the treacherous waters of Las Vegas on their own. They enlist a casino host to handle their every need.
My name is Steve Sear, and I'm an independent casino host. My clients are casinos, my customers are gamblers. So I'm hired by the casino to bring in gamblers. I have more $100,000 players under 40 than over 40. If a guy doesn't put up at least $25,000 to gamble with, I usually don't return the call.
Dropping up to $500,000 in a weekend makes a whale a hot commodity to the casino. To keep their business, casinos' comping extends far beyond the gaming table.
If you want it and you're worth enough to them, they'll get it for you.
Buying them Rolls Royces, giving them access to private jets to bring them into Las Vegas from all over the world, sending their girlfriends shopping for mink coats and diamonds.
Too cold Super Bowl Sunday. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I got them 50-yard line, third row, and I got them a skybox.
When you're a big player at a casino, you're treated like royalty. And no matter what anybody tells you, it's entertaining.
I would walk into a restaurant, if it was full, they'd snap out a new table for me like that.
Maybe you lost 10 grand, but you know what? You took your girl to Celine Dion, and afterwards I surprised you and you got to go in the back and meet her.
Once the final card is dealt, high rollers are treated to suites beyond imagination. Taking a dip on the 30th floor, grooving to state-of-the-art entertainment systems, rolling a strike, and shooting some hoops. Just another night for a Vegas whale.
Brad Pitt, he's a star in Hollywood. You know what's great is these people are stars in Vegas.
Giving away $25,000 a night suites, comping private planes, and coordinating extravagant entertainment may seem outrageous. But for the casinos, it's good business sense.
Everything that's given away to the customer is provided at the casino's expense. They take a look at what they're giving away, and they get a total here. And they take a look at what they think they can make from you. They look at these two numbers. This number that they can win has to be bigger than this number that they're giving away.
As a business person, would you spend 100 grand to make 2 million?
Whenever I've lost big, I always take consolation in the fact that at least I took a shot at it. You gotta take shots in life, and if you never take a shot, then you can never win.
My most rewarding thing is when a guy loses 100 grand, shakes my hand and says, God, I had a great time. What's the next event?
I remember when this used to be the dunes.
Sands was there, Desert Inn.
They built them a lot smaller back then.
They seemed pretty big.
Towns changed.
Las Vegas is the most dynamic environment in the country.
When they build a new place, it's supposed to be fancier and crazier and wilder than the one before it.
We're going to see some interesting days ahead of us because we're definitely getting into some more serious architecture.
Las Vegas is the city of many faces. Once the home to exquisite resorts for rat packers, by the early 1990s, it evolved into a strip of over-the-top themed mega resorts. However, the future of architecture in Las Vegas is transitioning yet again. In 1970, over 6.5 million people descended on Las Vegas. Today, almost 6 times as many people make Vegas a vacation destination.
Hello, Sam. Sorry for the wait. Welcome to the bank.
With that much demand, there's a booming market for new construction on Las Vegas Boulevard. Currently, over 60 new projects are on the drawing board, totaling more than $15 billion.
Everywhere you look, there's some sort of activity. You either see a gigantic sign, or you see crowds of people, or you see construction, because they're making another big place. So, I mean, there's just no downtime on the Strip.
But with Las Vegas Boulevard seemingly saturated, is there room for another property?
You think the Strip is so compact. You think it's filled, but it's not. There's still open spaces, and there's cranes in those spaces because they're building. And when those places get up, you'll say, all right, that's it. The Strip is full, it's finished. Next thing you know, there'll be another tower going up.
Las Vegas is a city that has been evolving for 30+ years. When you look at the Strip, it's representative of this lengthy period of history. What Las Vegas is evolving to is something that is more design-oriented.
The newest properties on the Strip promise to be a radical departure from typical Vegas architecture.
I think that a lot of the operators now are figuring that we're themed out. And it doesn't have to be themed. It just has to be something that evokes some kind of feeling that I'm going to have a good time here.
I got the hottest new hotel, and I'm a shoe-in for the 5-Diamond Award.
Constructing properties like these on a stretch of land less than 5 miles long presents numerous obstacles for engineers and architects.
There are lots of aesthetic challenges. Of course, creating something new. It's like, designing a movie or writing a screenplay. We are always trying to do something that will create immediate fame.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Whatever the property's constraints were, gave rise to what I'm going to call the solutions.
The complexities of these projects are almost like a Rubik's Cube. There's so many pieces and parts that have to come together, and just when you think you have them solved, you find out another piece doesn't work.
Las Vegas, it's land constrained. It's a small valley that has one famous street. That street is under tremendous pressure to utilize the land to the greatest value. The genius of the architecture, which will be in these newer buildings, will in fact be how do we create suburban experiences in or within an urban fabric.
From awe-inspiring architecture to the casino's strategies to keep players in the game, Vegas is a city that lavishes glamour on its visitors, offering an opulent escape and a chance to break from reality. It's one of the fastest-growing cities in the United States. Each month, 7,000 new people make Sin City their home. In a town where risk can be rewarded, what's in the cards for Las Vegas's future?
The city is an incredible city. The city itself is definitely becoming more urban, and it's becoming more dense. I think we're going to see more and more people wanting to come here and be here.
The amount of risk-taking is just absolutely at an all-time high. People are not being safe anymore. People are taking the ultimate risks. And these buildings will show it in the future. They will be phenomenal projects that will encapsulate everyone's imagination.
Vegas is empowering. You see Vegas and you watch it, all the glitz and glamour, and you come here and it's all of it and more.
The future's exciting for Vegas. We've still got a long way to go. And as long as we keep coming up with fresh ideas and we stay innovative, Las Vegas will always be the #1 tourist destination in the world.
Never say never for Las Vegas.